Bwana Raila Odinga, before you tell us to enter into new dialogue with William Ruto, you entered dialogue with him called NADCO. It has not yet been implemented. Now you want us to start a new one. The other day after you lost the AU chairmanship, you entered into MOU with him for a 10-point agenda. Among the things you agreed is that no abductions, no killings. They have now increased instead of being stopped. You agreed that governors will be given 450 billion. That has not happened. So the two dialogues you have done with William Ruto, none has been implemented. Now you want us to go into a third one. It is simply a strategy to slow down the one-term momentum. And I heard him saying yesterday, Rigiji cannot be the solution. No, Rigiji is not the solution. I've never said I'm the solution. I cannot be the solution. The solution is one term.
Ladies and gentlemen, between Raila Amolo Odinga and Rigathi Gachagua, who is going to be the kingmaker in 2027?
Na vijana wale ambaye wanaandamana, wale ambao wanaitwa Gen Z, si waende wazimu. Lakini Wakenya ni watoto wetu. Tuzungumze na hawa watoto. Tuzungumze na wazee, na kina mama, wote kongamano. Kwa sababu mimi nimependekeza ya kwamba tunataka kila county ilete watu vijana 20, wale wengine wote wawe 20, wawe watu 40 kutoka kila county. Ndio nasema hii tuanze kufanya sasa, ili sasa hii isiwe tu mazungumzo peke yake, lakini kila county iwe na watu 40 na tuanze hii mazungumzo mwezi ujao. Hii ni pendekezo yangu.
That is what I'm going to highlight here on this particular video. But first of all, let me give you a brief background about these two people. Raila Amolo Odinga has been leadership for quite some time, now 40 years. Actively and deliberately in opposition. Always surviving. Whenever there's a government that has been formed, he finds his way into that particular government. So Raila Amolo Odinga has been operating that way all along. Rigathi Gachagua, he has also been in politics for quite some time, but not in active politics like Raila Amolo Odinga. So you realize that Rigathi Gachagua only got into politics about 7 years ago, where he was an active politician, where he was elected as a member of parliament. In other scenarios, he was acting as a PA, at some point PA to his brother, then at some point PA to Uhuru Kenyatta. So his politics he has been playing it from behind the scenes. But I lately came to learn that he has been studying what is happening in politics, so that whenever he gets there, he makes an impact. And of course, he is making the same impact. So he has been present in Moi's time, Uhuru's time, Kibaki's time, and actually even Raila Amolo Odinga's time, let me call it so, during the coalition government. And most importantly now, he even worked with William Ruto as the deputy president for 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, these two people have experiences from different levels and different environments. But they are all having one thing in common. Politics of numbers. Politics of masses. And that is what we are seeing Rigathi Gachagua is doing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these two people now, as we speak, they have political waves. Rigathi Gachagua is currently the active senior opposition leader. If he speaks, the country listens. Raila Amolo Odinga is also one of the leaders. He's now not in opposition, but he's also one of the leaders who are most followed. Whenever he speaks, people also listen. Recently, he talked about a conclave dialogue, something that now everyone is talking about across the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the two leaders are very influential. Now, you have also to state it here that these two leaders have regions they are controlling as we speak. Gachagua is controlling the people of the central region. And Raila Amolo Odinga, the Luo Nyanza, plus also to some extent, the Luya region. That is very significant. These two people have some backyards that are very strong. Now, these two are both orators. I recently did an analysis of Rigathi Gachagua's speech in Bungoma. And when I looked at Raila's speeches before, I noticed that there was a lot of similarity. The way issues are being articulated, the way the tone is rising, the way they are finishing their rallies. Very, very, very similar. So there's one who is copying the other. Your guess is as well as mine. But the fact is, they have all benefits that they are going to reap from it. Ladies and gentlemen, now, as we watch in this video now, who do you think is going to be the kingmaker for 2027? That is what I'm going to highlight here on this particular video. But before I take you through, take a second or two to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. For those who actually subscribe and talk to me, thank you so much. For those who even text on WhatsApp, I really appreciate. Such kind of engagement, it's what enables me to learn and grow as a TV that we do online analysis. Let me dive into the topic today without much wasting of time. Now, who is going to be the kingmaker? Number one, let me talk of Rigathi Gachagua. Or maybe, let me start with Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga has been in politics before. And until he betrayed the Gen Zs of this country, Raila Amolo Odinga was the best. His popularity went down significantly after he betrayed the interest of Kenyans, led by the Gen Zs, where people were asking for accountability, proper governance, and Raila Amolo Odinga decided to go and get support to go to AU and probably eat and nominate his people to government. He was dubbed to be selfish. Now, however, we cannot truly doubt that in 2027, Raila Amolo Odinga is going to be useless. He can be a kingmaker by first getting out of President William Ruto's side, starting to campaign to be a president in this country, creating some conflict between him and William Ruto. Eventually, that conflict will be able to give him people to his side. And then if he gets to the ballot or not, he'll already be having a huge number of people that he can be able to have a handshake with. Very possible. Now, but I feel strongly that Raila Amolo Odinga, it might not be the same Raila Amolo Odinga we had before. Because he has reached right now, his popularity is going down. Now, but on Gachagwa's side, his popularity is rising, in the sense that he's a new kid in town, and that is fighting for his political space in the opposition at speak today. So if that comes up, that is going to be considered as one of the best leaders in opposition, then Gachagua will already have achieved what Raila Amolo Odinga has already done within a very short time. Now, Gachagua is young. Then, Gachagua has just come in, but he has an obstacle, impeachment, where he might not proceed to the ballot, but he can decide to be a kingmaker as well. Now, these two leaders, Raila Amolo Odinga and Gachagua, they must create some scenarios for them to decide who becomes the president, for them to be kingmakers. But according to me, Rigathi Gachagua, because of the numbers, also because of the energy that he's showing right now, because of his firebrand opposition, because of his senior and serious opposition against President William Ruto, he's going to get more attraction. He's going to attract more Kenyans to his side, hence giving him the powers to dictate at some point on who becomes the president of this country. So, meaning very well that as the popularity of Gachagua rises, his ability to even become the best kingmaker is actually approaching slowly by slowly, even at a faster rate. So, meaning Rigathi Gachagua is the most likely kingmaker that we are going to have in 2027. The two can decide to be kingmakers, but Rigathi Gachagua will have higher numbers. Why? Because Rigathi Gachagua, he is right now energetic and he is rising. And the moment he reaches up there, I'm telling you, he will attract people because the Mount Kenya people have a certain spirit of making someone a leader, which does not exist in Raila Amolo Odinga's side. Raila Amolo Odinga does not have an assurance that he can make one person a president in this country, because he could not make himself a deputy president. But Gachagua has made William Ruto president, and the people of Mount Kenya have done it not once, not twice, but a number of times. So these are the people who know. So long as you are the leader, then you are the kingmaker. So long as you are not at the ballot. Assuming Rigathi Gachagua gets to the ballot and he wants to vie for president, then Raila Amolo Odinga will have the golden chance to be the only kingmaker we'll be having at that point. But others can of course come up, but most of them will be small. I don't know what is your take as far as this is concerned, but I feel strongly that the Kingmaker in 2027, it is undoubtedly Rigathi Gachagua. Don't know what's your take? Let me see your comments in the comment section. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time.